Hi everyone, welcome to the CD Cave. I'm Jack Burial. I'm back today with another video on rankings. Well, sort of. I've been watching a lot of videos on uh, catalog rankings of certain bands and certain artists, and there's a lot of them out there, a lot of good ones. Um, so today I decided to do something different. I'm going to do rankings. I picked randomly 10 different bands, and what I'm going to do is rank their best and their worst. I'm going to cut all the stuff out in the middle because most people usually, and I've done a few rankings myself, excuse me, usually they'll rank from worst to their best and go through um, every CD in their catalog, usually studio albums. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to uh, forget all about the stuff in between, and I'm going to go from the best, and I'm going to show the worst. And all the in between, well, we'll just forget about it for this video. So I hope you'll stick around for that. Yeah, so I just picked 10 different bands, and this is, of course, my opinion. And I feel these are the best and worst from these bands, for me, anyways. So the first one I picked is Boston. And for their best, of course, their debut. Definitely one of the best rock albums of all time. Yeah, really, anything after this is going downhill, really. Although I find Don't Look Back and Third Stage is pretty good albums, but definitely the weakest in their catalog. They don't have a big catalog, but still their worst is definitely Corporate America. Yeah, there's not much on here that's really memorable. There's a few good songs, but it's nowhere really the Boston sound. I mean, yeah, I Had a Good Time is not bad. Um, Turn It Off is okay. It's from 2002. And this is quite difficult to get, and it can go for a pretty good price. But it's not really worth getting unless you're a real Boston fan. Um, yeah, stick to their first three. You'll be fine with that. Next, I went with Black Sabbath. To me, their best is Heaven and Hell. Great album featuring Ronnie James Dio. All the songs on here are great. Neon Night's my favorite Black Sabbath song. Children of the Sea, Heaven and Hell. Die Young. Great album from 1980. And their worst, although I do like the singer's time with the band, still to me there's not much here. Forbidden by Black Sabbath. A couple of songs that are okay on this. Really, the best thing about this album is really the artwork. Um, just kind of really cool. But yeah, there's not much here. Can't Get Close Enough is okay. One of the better songs. Rusty Angels. The title track Forbidden's okay. And from 1995. But overall, it's just a bad album. The material is just not very good. Uh, really, it's the only bad Tony Martin album that there is with Black Sabbath. All his other ones are pretty good. This one here just doesn't really do it for me. I never listened to it. Next, I went with Queen. To me, their best is Night at the Opera. Queen doesn't have too many bad albums in their catalog, but Death on Two Legs, my favorite song, is great. I'm in Love with My Car. Yeah, the Prophet song is a great song. William Rhapsody. Yeah, it's definitely, I find it's Queen's best. And to me, they're worse, although I've grown to like it in the last couple of years, but still, out of all their catalog, is definitely still the worst album. Um, doesn't really sound like Queen, really. It's more of a synth pop type Queen. Uh, Under Pressure is a good song with David Bowie, but there's not much else on here that was really good when you compare it to the rest of her catalog. There's a few songs I like on here. Black Cat, of course, Under Pressure, Body Language is not bad. But Staying Power, the opening song is not bad. But overall, there's not much here. It's not an album that I play a lot or is regarded really highly in their discography. But to me, this is definitely their weakest album. Next, I went with Queensryche. To me, their best is Operation Mindcrime. Great concept album. Empire is also good. Is another one I really like. But I rate this one just a little bit higher than Empire. Anarchy X is really good. Remember Now. The title track is really good. Spreading the Disease. Sister, Sister Mary is a great song. Breaking the Silence. Don't Believe in Love. Eyes of a Stranger. Yeah, it's a great album. And to go straight across from the other side of this, I find their worst one is Operation Mindcrime Part 2, which is a really bad second part to Operation Mindcrime. There's not much here. I've tried getting into it. It just, if it would have been a standalone album, like just on its own, it might have been a bit better. But considering that it was written a follow-up to Operation Mindcrime, like a second part, it just doesn't do it. There's not much that's really good on here. I'm American is okay, I guess. Circles, from 2006. This is not one I go to a lot. I basically got this one just to finish off my Geoff Tate discography with the band Queensryche, but this is definitely their weakest one they probably should have never put out. Next, I went with Pink Floyd. My favorite from Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Pink Floyd, another band that has quite a few good albums. This is my favorite from the band. Shine On Crazy Diamond, Part 1, and there's Part 2. Have a Cigar, Wish You Were Here, Welcome to the Machine. Yeah, overall, just a great album. 1992, Wish You Were Here. And then again, another one that I've gotten to like more in the last few years, but still definitely I find their weakest in their catalog is The Final Cut. Yeah. Of course, this is out of the ones in my collection. I know they have a couple other ones that are a little weak too, like More, and they have that double one there, Amugama, I think it's called. It's close to this one as far as their weakest ones, but I don't own those two. So I just picked the ones out of my CD collection. And to me, this is the weakest. Although I have grown to like it a bit more. The Post-War Dream is okay on here. The Final Cut's not bad. But from 1983, this is definitely, I find, one of their weakest in that catalog. The weakest that I own out of their catalog anyways. Next, I went with Van Halen, definitely their debut album. Definitely their strongest album, although they do have quite a few strong albums. But to me, this is their debut is definitely still their best one. Running with the Devil, You Really Got Me, Talking About Love, Jamie's Crying, Lower Dreamer, Ice Cream Man. Yeah, this is a great album. And on the other end, for the worst, has to be Van Halen 3 with Gary Cherone. Just I find he doesn't fit. His vocals doesn't fit well on here. And the songs aren't really great either. There's one song that's not too bad on here. I think it's Fire in the Hole, which ain't too bad. But overall, a very forgettable album. Not one that I've listened to very often, and it pretty much just sits there on my shelf. Although I do like Gary Cherone, I love Extreme. I like all their albums, but I find he doesn't fit on here very well, and the songs are just not well written. I find, yeah, just not a great Van Halen album. Definitely their weakest. Next, we'll go with U2. Joshua Tree, because their best one. I think most fans will agree with this one. A lot of great songs on here. Where the Streets Have No Name. Running to Stand Still is really good. Yeah. With or Without You. Still haven't found one I'm looking for. From 1987. I'm not the biggest U2 fan, but I do like to listen to them once in a while. And this is usually the one I usually put on. On the other end, I find the worst is Zooropa. Yeah, it's just not a great album. I don't find much very good on here. Yeah, don't listen to it very often, and the songs just don't gel well with me. Especially the song Lemon. I really don't like that song. It's just, yeah, I'm not even going to name any of the songs on here. It's just not a CD I really like. Definitely I find this the worst. I don't even care for the artwork on this. Just, yeah, just don't care for it. Next, I went with Cheap Trick, The Dream Police, which I find is their best out of their catalog. I like this when it first come out, and I still listen to it quite a bit today. The title track is great. Way of the World, The House is Rockin', Gonna Raise Hell is great. Voices is a great ballad. Yeah. Dream Police, great album from the band. And on the other end, it was a toss-up. There's a couple. I find the one Busted is a little weak, but I think this one here is a little weaker, special one. I do listen to this one every once in a while, but I do find it's maybe a little bit weaker than Busted, although they're both not great. Best song on here is Scent of a Woman. It's a really great song. The rest is not very memorable. Yeah, Special One and title track's not great. My Obsession's okay. Best Friend, not bad. But overall, not one of their best from Cheap Trick. Special One. Next, I went with Kiss. My favorite, Destroyer. Always loved this album. Love the artwork on this. Love every song on here. It was the first album I ever got from them. Yeah, Detroit Rock City, King Nighttime World, God of Thunder, Great Expectations, Shout Out Loud, Beth, Do You Love Me? Yeah, 1978. This is a great album from Kiss. And on the other end, one that I have a hard time getting into, although I've given it a try lately, and I listen to it every once in a while, but definitely to me is definitely their weakest album, The Elder. Supposed to be a concept album, I guess. I don't think it really works. There's some good songs. The Oath is not bad. Under the Rose, Mr. Blackwell, but overall, from 1981, definitely I find their weakest, The Elder. And for my last band that I decided to pick, their best and their worst, is the Eagles. I went with classic Hotel California. Great album. Everything is pretty much good on this album. All the songs are really great. Of course, the title track, New Kid in Town, Life in a Fast Lane, Victim of Love, The Last Resort. Yeah, it's definitely, to me, is my opinion, is their best album. And their worst is their last release, Long Road Out of Eden. This, I think, is a special edition booklet. This is a double CD. Really nice packaging. Unfortunately, the packaging is better than the album, or both albums, because it's a double CD. There's not much here. There's a couple of songs I don't mind, but overall, I find it very mellow, kind of boring. Yeah. There's 22 songs. This one has 11. This 2 has 9 plus 2 bonus tracks. But overall, to me, it's just a boring album. Could have been better if it would have been one single album. Probably not. yeah, just to me, it's just not a great album. Some people might like it, but compared to their other albums or earlier stuff in that, yeah, not one I go to very often. Uh, yeah, Long Road Out of Eden. I hope you enjoyed this shortened version of album rankings, so to speak. And I thought it'd be a little different doing something like this instead of doing a regular ranking. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, take care of yourselves.